welcome to yet another Wind and Willows episode review. This week it's Caught in a Maze from Series 3. Love this one. Really great. Got a cosy feel to it because I just love the idea of a maze. Yeah, envious. Love my own one. Before I start though, just want to share with you recent acquisition. A lovely picture I found online that I got literally the other day, yesterday actually. Isn't that lovely? A beautiful snow scene from the Wind and the Willows. Beautiful print. It's an image I've seen before, you know, in various kind of promotional material and so on, but never actually seen a print of it. And to get one framed like that, just very lucky that someone had one they were selling it. So yeah, beautiful picture that. Yes, I know it's summer, so it's sharing a winter scene with you in the summer, but doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, so let's get into this. Caught in a Maze, directed by Barry Purves. One of his best ones, I think. Really great one. Pressing play now. There you go. So, I first saw this when Channel 5 repeated the episodes in the late 90s. But it did appear originally on this box set. I don't know if anyone owned this. This was a double box set, VHS cassette set, featuring 6 episodes, kind of centred around Toad and his various escapades. And 3 previous episodes I reviewed had appeared on this as well. Mercury of the Motor Bicycle, Mr. Toad's Telephone and Toad Astronomer. And we got Caught in a Maze and Master Chef and Champion of the Green Bays. And I got that second hand many years back, and yeah, after I'd seen the episode on Channel 5. And I look at that lovely opening. I mean, Beverly Bush did such a wonderful job of illustrations for each episode, but that's a classic example of pages for that Edwardian book that just absolutely suit the episode. Those beautiful maze illustrations there. So this one, right in the heart of summer, this one is, or it actually feels like it's been summer for a while and it's just beginning to go into late summer, although we are, of course, still in July at the moment. I reviewed Mole's Cousin last week, which, as I said, wasn't at any particular time of year. And the episode I'm doing next week is actually The Further Adventures of Toad, which is another one that's not really set in any particular time of year. So I had to kind of hit a proper summer episode really this week. I love these shots. A rare shot we got there of kind of looking down on Toad a little bit, on Toad's car, and we've got those lovely leaves in the foreground there. And he's got a Beefeater outfit there, which I think is quite unusual, you know. We don't see this outfit at all in any other episode. And you've got Mole wearing the hat. And it's kind of designed for Mole. The hat actually still exists. It's actually still, yeah, it's in the archive. Oh, look at that. All the other, all Toad's friends doing all the work. He's just carrying this this puny little present on the end of his fingers there. There's another side of Toad's personality and the extreme laziness and selfishness, relying on others. And I've always felt the animation here, his lips aren't moving as wide as they should. Just kind of barely opening his mouth there, like he's just mumbling. He obviously is more spoken than that. But like I say, this is a Barry Purves episode. Barry directed some wonderful episodes. I think this is one of the best. It's just got a lovely feel to it, this idea of this maze. And when we get to the maze, you'll see it's beautifully shot, beautifully designed. And of course, animator-wise, Barry had his usual team of Andrea Lord and Monica McCartney, who by this point were very experienced, knew what they were doing, and yeah, it's got a certain charming look to it. I love the way Toad walks up the stairs as well, very natural. And choreographing the whole thing, as in composing the shots, using the set, you know, this vast set, this total set, and you know, selecting those shots of where Toad, you know, he's walking along as he talks in a lot of cases, and then of course, like here, he gets to a certain point and then carries on talking, while the others are slowly but surely making their way up the stairs as well. presumably to his bedroom. I guess they're going to unload all of these things he's bought in his bedroom. I love that. It's a typical thing of Toad. Kind of, Badger says something and he hasn't really listened. So Badger revealing here that Toad's actually got a maze, which is, I think, a wonderful idea. You know, there's no hint of a maze in the book, the original book, or anything like that. But it makes sense. You know, Toad owns all of this land. He's got this not only this vast hall, but Toad Hall gardens all the land around Toad Hall. And yeah, it's very likely that he will have a maze. And the fact that it hasn't been looked after, Toad's totally unaware of it. Bit far-fetched. You think Badger would have mentioned it at some point in the past, or Toad would have heard about it at some point, or wandered the grounds and found out that he had it. But yeah, because it hasn't been looked after, it's just hidden. And then this is an episode about restoring it and bringing that maze back. So I always love this shot. It just shows that vastness of that huge set. So much depth there, and you know, all the setting up of the cameras just for that shot. It's the one time we see that angle. And this is a nice montage here, and I presume that these shots were of a miniature model, I guess. Barry, if you're watching, please do correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing these are miniatures. They almost look like they're on like a curve, like a slope. Like, especially that shot there. See that kind of roundness to them. Classic trick there. Yeah, dissolving from one shot, you've got the leaves, and then we dissolve to a similar leaves, but a totally different shot, different set. And an exclusive set. You know, we only see in this episode the entrance to Toad's maze. I assume it's a generic set that's been redressed. There's a wonderful book that showed some behind the scenes of this. I'll put up a little image now, showing. It's only black and white old images, but it was in this book on World Magazine, rather, on the history of. Well, not the history, but it came out at the time of this being made, and Danger Mouse, of course. And it was, I think it was called Animator magazine, yeah, it was while this episode was being made. I should point out Toad's wonderful waistcoat here. In certain episodes, he had waistcoats to match what he was doing or what his craze was. So another great one is in Toad Astronomer. He has one with constellations and the stars. In this one, as you can see, beautiful. It's probably my favourite. I mean, look at it. When we get to it, it is literally a maze in his waistcoat. Absolutely beautiful. Toad, of course, has to have the best, doesn't he? And those lovely blue trousers complement it really well too. Now, this I should point out as well. Ratty is referencing his bicycle, and as Toad referring to it there as his Dursley Peterson, which is a nod to a much earlier episode, which I haven't reviewed yet, the Open Road again, where Toad gets obsessed with bikes again, not again, but caravans again, and then discovers bikes. There's his waistcoat in all its glory, beautiful. It is a marvel to behold, and it is in the Cosgrove Hall Films archive at the moment, and it's beautiful. It's got it's just the stitches of getting that maze and getting it perfectly symmetrical. Absolutely wonderful. So this is Toad sort of going off on one, as I say, sort of almost like soliloquy, even though Ratty's there. And then of course scares himself silly because his imagination runs away with him, as Ratty actually says in a moment.
What's the matter with you, Toad? Oh, it's all right, Badger. His imagination's been running away with him again.
And the idea of this maze is great because I actually worked on a show called Little Robots. It was my first project I ever worked on, and we did an episode around a maze. Very different to this, obviously. Very different feel to it, but it was a metal maze made out of basically scrap metal. And I remember we had a miniature maze. I can't remember. I think it was just. I don't know if that was for very wide shots or whether it was for where the characters made a model that they could reference and work their way around the real one by looking at it. But there's something lovely about mazes. I think when you go to a real one and you go to like a stately home and they got a maze you can follow, especially if the hedges are really high. And for someone tall like me, you want them to be high so that you can't easily work your way around. And there's something there's that cosy feel to them. That idea of so many ways you can go and you can kind of get lost in them. And this episode's certainly got that feel when we get into it. There's some lovely subtle animation of Toad coming up in a moment, where everyone's ruining his big speech. He was looking forward to saying it. So here, where Badger says, "They don't need to," there, that expression. And the puppets were found originally, returned to the archive, and Barry had said in an interview online that they're actually quite basic. When you look at Toad, for instance, he's actually quite a basic puppet to look at, really. Puppets have moved on a lot since these days, and yet they still get wonderful acting out of them, the subtle expressions. And really, it's the same expression that we see time and time again, but it's that combined with the acting, the context of the episode, David James's voice, all of those elements come together to create a performance that we actually believe in the moment that it's real, and that's the beauty of it. And obviously, in the back of our minds, we know it's not real, but that was the big aim of Cosgrove Hall. They wanted to create characters that you believed existed, that you invested in, that you cared for, that you rooted for. And that's the task of all great character animation, of course, but they so succeeded with this, and how can you not love these characters for it? Here we go, so these shots, it's quite a vast set, really, when you look at it. When you see this camera move, and then we have another section here, possibly the same bits of set redressed. They would have moved hedgerows around. So there's a point I made about being too tall. Badger, of course, is so tall we can see over the hedges. But that's cheat, isn't he? Why would he cheat like that? Just keep your head down. So it's just a nice montage to see the three of them making their way around, and then of course eventually we get to Toad and see how he's doing on in the maze. We could all kind of guess, can't we? I love this animation of Mole kind of trying to find his way. It's almost like, he's closing his eyes, so obviously you've got to think like how a blind person would find their way around. Hands doing that. Mole's beauty of Mole is he's got such large hands. Beautifully designed in that sense, like a real mole. They have huge paws for digging. So here's Toad kind of leaving this trail of string so that he can find his way back. It's a lot of animation when you look at it. It's all that walking about. It's no easy task in those days when you're working on film, and it's all very well when you're in a pose and you're performing, and that's hard enough. But to get the characters to move about, spider's web. So it must have taken a while to shoot this. They always had a couple of episodes on the go, so you've got the two crews, and they obviously got targets. But I think some episodes would have taken longer than others, I think. And this, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel that this episode would have taken longer because of all this walking about. Camera moves as well. Camera moves take a while to work out. You've got to work out all the tracks, you've got to mark them up. And these days we call it motion control, pre-programmed camera moves, done by the camera crew. And then as an animator, you press a button, and that just moves the camera in increments that have been pre-programmed. The other button you press is obviously to grab the frame once you've done your animation. In those days, it was all manually done. They would have had all markers carefully worked out, and they know what they're aiming for, they know where their end position is, and hopefully, usually they would have worked out all those increments. No easy task, really it wasn't. So, yeah, absolutely marvellous work. And there's really good timing here. That again would have required a lot of planning. See Mole's pace that he's got here. Mole needs to get out of view before Toad turns round. Now I don't know if they tweaks the dialogue to match it perfectly, or whether it was David Jason delivering that dialogue and they used it exactly as it was. Interesting to know, but either way, it's beautifully done. But again, the camera doesn't stop moving, doesn't it? I mean, Barry really went to town with this one. Look at that. It's the depth, you know, look at the clouds. They're all moving at a natural pace. In relation to the trees that are in the distance, and then the hedges, it's really deep sets, you know, and obviously a lot of it's false perspective, but even so. Very, very vast. So this Toad's getting very worried now, and you've got the summer sun kind of shining down on him as well. And he's going, literally going mad in the maze as he can't find his way out. Do you know what though? I can almost sense, I can imagine what that would be like. Not so much as an adult, but as a child. And Toad is a bit like a child, of course. You know, if you're a child stuck in a maze, you can't find your way out. It could be frightening, especially if you're on your own. Look at the shadows there of the branches overhead, or on top of the characters there. Although we've lost them now, that is just interesting. more across Mole now. Got a lovely summer feel though, doesn't it, to this? You know, you really feel the seasons in this. You've got birds singing, you've got the sun beaming through the branches like that. They're probably a little bit overdressed for the summer weather, but we assume it's not boiling hot. Now look at that lighting's changed here. We got the sense that the sun's beginning to set. So being summer, it'll be quite late in the evening. So we've just got that hint of the sun there. Again, more camera moves. I mean, yes, no animation here, but really taking in the whole maze. Like he's surrendering. He's like, I've given up. I surrender. Please, just help me out of here. A beam of light shining across the ground there. Nice attention to detail. And it is dark, but we still can clearly see Toad. And partly helped by his white shirt there, and you know, the yellowness in his face, just catching the light there. It's just enough for us to just see him, and that's nicely done. This is nice. He works his way around the maze and along the hedgerows like that, kind of shuffling along with his hands there. Very repetitive to animate, that kind of thing. Really repetitive. And even though Barry isn't animating Toad, he's directing it, and you can sense Barry's Toad in the performance. And it's not quite the way Barry would animate it, but it's still got the same feel. And it's really hard to put my finger on it. Paul Berry's Toad is a slightly different Toad. And then you've got one or two other animators that have dealt with him as well. You get slightly different versions. The other characters, because they're slightly less animated, you could say, they often feel very, very, very similar. But the way Toad's performed, Barry would tell anyone, he's hard work. It would have been hard work to animate. I love this build-up. It's like you just said, I lost a button. So he was upset, no, but it was an expensive button. So back to typical Toad here. It would be much easier if he just admitted, yes, I was upset. I admit I was foolish. I was wrong. I got lost in the maze. I should have been so big-headed. Like the way he's behaving when he was on his own just then, in tears, thinking, oh, I shouldn't have cheated. I should have done that. But when he's back to safety, when his friends are there, the psychology changes. So he's suddenly back to his bad self, where he's kind of just doesn't want to admit his mistakes. He's does all he can to cover it up, even though the others can see straight through it. Hence the Oto that we always get. It's just wonderful. Yeah, I love that episode. It's so green, isn't it? I forgot how lush it was, you know, with the maze, obviously. But yeah, beautifully done. And yeah, it would have been a challenge to animate that one. Barry, please, if you're watching or come across the post anywhere, please do comment and let us know what it was like making this one, because yeah, I'd literally forgotten how many camera moves there were, and I know how long they take to do. Yeah, but look at the production value. I mean, particularly Barry's episodes, and I think back to Toad Astronomer, we had all those overhead shots of the top of Toad Hall, which we barely saw maybe we saw that top of Toad Hall in 1 or 2 other episodes, but that's it, you know. So they were made for that episode to begin with, and you've got all the birds and the bats flying. And yeah, Barry really went to town, so good on you, Barry. Beautiful episode. So there we go, Caught in a Maze. Do let me know what you think on that. Be interesting to hear. Yeah, it's been a while since we had a Series 3 one, so it was nice to have that. So like I said earlier, next week, a bit of an anomaly again. The Further Adventures of Toad next week, which was the first ever episode, Series 1. It basically follows on from the film, that episode, and fills in a lot of the gaps that were missing in relation to Toad's adventures from the book. So we'll get into it next week, but basically it's got more scenes of Toad as the washerwoman, and just scenes that would have taken place during the events of the film, but we just, you know, there's only so much you can put into a film. So that'd be a great one. But yes, it's at no particular time of year. It feels about right in the summer, and as I said before, there are less summer episodes than in any other season, so I had to kind of put it in the summer somewhere, like I had to with Mole's Cousin. But yeah, do join me for that next week. So I look forward to that, and getting beautiful weather. I had a wonderful weather today here in Essex. So hopefully I'm getting this order of episodes pretty much right. And yeah, after next week we're into basically late summer episodes. So that'd be nice as we get through August. So thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Please do keep the comments coming, and I shall see you next week for the Further Adventures of Toad. All the best, and see you then.